Hey everyone, my name is Chris, and welcome to my short tutorial on how to use the program Minecrafter. Basically, Minecrafter will just allow you to compile mod packages together, texture packs together, and with pretty much with ease. Alright, what I did, this audio is obviously not recorded on top of this video either. I had issues recording them together, so I'm doing it separately. This is Minecrafter 32-bit operating system version, even though I have a 64-bit operating system. But for whatever reason, it doesn't comply with the Java. So I did the Win32, and it worked like a charm. I'm sure it works like a charm on other operating systems as well, although I cannot vouch for them. So first things first, download that. I'll provide a link in the video description. And when you install it, it should pop up, and then do some initial things like compiling your Minecraft folder and stuff like that. And it should prompt you to delete the meta-inf folder, but if it doesn't, go into your Minecraft folder and delete the meta-inf. So anyways, you open up Minecrafter. I got the 1.2.4, and you can see in the options right here, the checkbox for always delete meta-inf. You want to make sure that's checked. But I don't mess with the options. So basically, the way you start out is you can see that I have a mod folder called my shit. It's pretty much just what I called it when I made it. It has a combination of 5 mods on the inside. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to create another one. So I click on new button, and I believe I title it tutorial or tutorials. We'll see in about 2 seconds. Tutorial, there we go. And initially it just has a minecraft.jar in there, which has the initial texture packs that you have. And I believe I show some of them. Yes, they're from just from the upgraded textures that I have initially with the game anyway. And you can also, on the blocks thing, you can click GUI/items and also terrain, so you can see all the terrain marks, all the terrain blocks and stuff like that. Now, what you do here is, in order to add more textures, you click on the plus icon, and then you click, whenever it comes up, there we go, add file. And then you search through your downloads and find the texture packs that you've uploaded, the zipped texture packs, the RAR'd archive texture packs that you've downloaded. So what I do here is I scroll down and I find my Albion texture pack. Eventually, I'm not sure what I was doing when I recorded this. Remember, apparently I had some good points to make, but anyways, you can see my Albion texture pack right there in the RAR file. It's zipped up actually. RAR zip file. So you just go ahead and double click that, and it adds the texture pack to your list. And then you can go into it and see the different textures that your pack gives you. Looks good, looks good. Alright, so you go out of that, and if you want to, you can add a second texture pack. So you once again click the plus sign, add file, and what I do is here is I select the Mesa texture pack. Misa's HD texture overhaul. And the way this works right here is you kind of get a hierarchy. To my understanding, you kind of get a hierarchy on the left side. Whichever texture pack you put at the top is mainly going to take high priority, and if you want to override it with a few things from a texture pack below it, you have to go in and allocate that. So as of right now, you can see on the left side, you see all the names of the texture packs, and then you get just to the right, you get the up and down arrow. That's how you change the hierarchy of the texture packs, and I believe I showcase that in a second here. I'll show you how to change them around. Or maybe I don't. Anyways, as you can see in the top right of your screen, selected and allocated. Allocated means that it's what's being used in the game right now, and selected is what you have your cursor currently over. So basically, what you do is let's see. What you do if you want to select something from the texture pack that doesn't have priority, you go into that, and you can see in the top right again, it's selected this texture pack, but it's allocated as the one from Albion. So what you do, and I actually fail at it the first time around here, but you double click the icon that you want to replace it very, very quickly. Double left click on it, and it will give a pop-up and say, do you want to allocate over this? And what I'm doing here is if you're having trouble double clicking it that fast, or it's just not working for you, just select it and left and right click about a dozen times real quickly, and then move off of it, and you can see it's allocated because of the green square around it plus the green X, and it's now allocated over Dante's Albion ladder texture. So in order to save this, you go to the save button and you save it as your file. Right now, I'm not going to save it because I already have one allocated, or I already have one saved, and I will be showcasing that one and how it works with in-game examples anyway. So I do not save it. I close out without saving, and then I bring up my shit, 5 mods. I actually only use really 2 of these. Minecraft.jar I don't really use because it's a basic texture pack. And MRM mods has just the simple map, the better grass, better light, and stuff like that. And I don't even know what Ion's Minecraft texture pack is, so I won't lie to you. So basically, I go into Albion, and you can see that the Albion texture, the ladder texture, is not what I'm using right now in my game. I'm using the Misa texture. You can see it in the top right corner in the allocated square. So in order to change that, I double click it very quickly. I believe I do that right now, or in the near future. There we go. That's what happens when you double click it very quickly. You have to go kind of turbo mode on the double click, but it'll pop up, ask you if you want to override the allocation. Of course, you select yes, and there you go. In the top right, you have the Albion ladder texture selected. So in order to test this in game, we click save, because if you don't save this, there's no reason to do it anyway. It tells you that mod is successfully saved, and then from here, I launch it in permanent, which automatically overwrites it. Feel free to launch it in temporary if you're worried about your minecraft.jar, your Minecraft files in general. I'm not, because I have backups, 2 backups, multiple backups, so it's not really my biggest concern of whether or not this is going to ruin my Minecraft. So I launched it in permanent, but once again, feel free to launch it in temporary if you're worried about your files. So it just takes a little bit of time because my computer is not so good at running full screen fraps on top of sound. At the time, I was recording sound, and it came out very distorted and very odd. Wasn't feeling putting that up on a video. So please be patient with my Minecraft. It's gonna take a little bit to load. Basically, I load up my World 3, the one I use in my Let's Plays, which at one point had the Misa ladder textures on it, but as soon as my game loads up, you'll see that Albion has replaced that. And I do not like the Albion ladders, so I will be going back and changing that on this video as well. So you can see ladders up on my wall right there. They have the Albion texture on them, which is good. It's what we wanted to see. So exit out of the game. Taking its sweet time again. I apologize about my computer. Alright, get out of the game, and now we're going to go about how to change it back. So once again, just open up Edit, and then in order to allocate that back again, select Misa's texture pack, the one that you want to override it with. And if you had Misa higher up on the hierarchy, you wouldn't have this issue, and you'd actually be overriding it with the Albion texture. Keep that in mind. Yes. Right here, you double click it again. Make sure you want to override the allocation. As you can see in the top right corner, once again, it is allocated. So we will go test that in game once again. Eventually. Alright, once again, save your work, because if you don't save it, there's no point. Nothing's going to change in your game. You can see that it says mod package has been successfully saved. Once again, load up your Minecraft. Once again, to cover my ass. If you're worried about the files being corrupted or anything like that, which I haven't seen happen yet, but if you are worried about it, launch it in temporary just to make sure. As I've said before, I'm not, so I just launched it in permanent to get it out of the way because I know it's gonna work. I've been using this for a couple months now, I think, or at least a month or so. So load it up in single player. Load my same world 3, and I'm gonna spoil it and say that it worked because I made this video a little while ago. But to give you the concrete evidence, there you go. Misa's textures, perfect. No issues whatsoever. As you can see, it's a very simple program to use. No issues. Very convenient. So that's about it. Like I said before, I didn't really use anything in the options tab, but And I also believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that Rizugami's mod loader is required to use Minecrafter. So I would recommend loading that. Well, I'd recommend loading that anyway. So I'll put a link to that anyway, as well. Although, like I said, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if it's guaranteed. I've read that it is, and before I used this, I had Rizugami's mod loader loaded on my computer anyway. So, long story short, I'd recommend putting it on there because if you're using this, chances are you have other mods as well, like the texture packs that we've been going over. So, and once again, delete your meta INF, even though it will do that for you. So, I hope this helped you. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. Once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.